doing ba? Sheesh. I just blended that poor kid. Bro, I just put him in a blender and then hit. Oh, whoa, bro. Sheesh. You need to be maintained and contained. playing some videos right now. Wanna join? Hello? I can't hear you if you're muted. Thank you, Max. Oh my gosh, I literally just blended this good. You know, if you're not gonna talk, then I can't hear you, you know. No, what? Oh. I need a full dial GB, bro. I'm so good. Bro, I'm kinda crackers. Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? This is the most epic fight ever. Okay, he just died. Okay, that's good. Okay. Wait, no. Why am I taking on a high star? What am I doing with my life? No. the besta. Mami, ano po pinag-uusapan mo? I could have clutched that. Hindi ako sekarang muna. Love you for that, sobra.
Tell me more, I got a box cutter, what's your name on it? Tell me more, I can't stay this long on the same time. Don't know you, but would I fall in love with you? I don't have no social cues, I'm not for you. I can't get over you. Can't get over you. And before I have it up, I could make it on. And I could be the one, but I won't be no fun if I can't let you go on again.
Doksan you have no.
Tell me more, I got a box cutter, what's your name on it? Tell me more, I can't stay this long on the same. Don't know you, but would I fall in love with you. I don't have no social skills. I'm all for you. I can't get over you.
That's a sausage.
I could be the one. And I could be the one.
Yes. Double team him.
Be no fun. If I gave you one day.
He's probably up top. No. It's a juke. No, please. Spare me. No. Don't do that. No. Why are my frames dropping? Yeah. Okay, maniac miner so I can swing faster. My logic is literally out of this world. Yes, a fireball. No, don't you dare. It's gonna fireball me.
Tell me more, what's your name on it?
Tell me more, jokes on you, I'm an epic gamer. Fall in love with you, I don't have no social skills. I'm all for you. Oh, you're such a pain. GG. Bro, how did I do that? Wait, is white dead? White died. Auto-click mo? What the? Okay, I didn't predict that. What? What's up? What the? Catch him off guard. GG. Bro, that was so good. How did I manage to do that clutch? And always, no contact, I don't want you. And I wanna tell me more about what's your name on. Tell me more, just in the song I sing on. Don't wanna know what I fall in love with you. I don't have no social skills. I'm all for you. I can't get over you. Yo, can't get over you. And before
Student during exam season gets incredibly stressful and the laptop gets extremely cluttered. Here's how I transform my laptop from this crazy online game rated for everyone 10 and up wasn't as family-friendly as we thought. It's caused thousands, possibly millions of people to send one young creator deeply disturbing messages and asking him to end his life. This young creator claims he was the victim.
I watched the video, and it's them lying on me.
But he made a huge mistake by commenting inappropriately about a fellow gamer's younger sister. Their family was outraged.
These comments towards her were absolutely disgusting. My whole body started to tremble as a mother.
And they made it a goal to end this young creator's career.
You don't deserve to have a channel or an audience. We have already contacted our partner managers at YouTube to make sure that your channel is taken away.
But are both sides in the wrong? The family preached for justice and righteousness, but laughed at the young creator they were trying to educate.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Our names are Karma. I'm Papa B. This is Mama B.
The family also advocates for responsibility and protecting children, but now they are being exposed for their own alleged dark behaviors.
These are the people y'all support. This is the people y'all support. The same people who's using their daughter for quakes.
Their son, the fellow gamer who started it all, is also under fire after being exposed for his alleged unruly behavior online. Allegations are surfacing of bribes being made, but what was said by the young creator seems to be unforgettable and painful.
I'm trying to hold back the tears because it's so scary for other girls.
Is this family channel really trying to help make online spaces a safer place?
We are trying to save you from the path of destruction.
Or did they take it too far?
This is used for content.
Something isn't right.
There will be consequences to your actions.
subscribing
Who
to
is
Killick.
facing the consequences at the end of it all? Let's find out
Oh,
the
no,
unfortunate
no,
story
I
of
don't think
Killick
so.
and Mr. Lee.
Ang usapan niyo daw po pala is, magdadagdag daw po pala kayo para sa transfer. So last minute yun na daw po sinabi na, dahil kayo na po transfer. So, ngayon po, yung
On
PNP
January 27th, the B family took matters into their own hands with a 27-minute exposed video. They are changing the way online platforms deal with serious allegations, and they have a message for all of us to hear, all in the name of justice, righteousness, and responsibility, breaking over 2 million views within a week. What the B family revealed would change the life of this small creator forever, for better or worse. The B family and Killick are content creators who are successful within their own community.
sige lang po ako for kadarating na po.
Hey, keep saying your shit.
Picture na kanina. Ma'am,
Keep talking to you.
i-refresh ko lang po.
I told you to stay away. What would you listen to me?
Sa convo po natin, ma'am, pinag-usapan na lang pagkakaano ang
You're doing the right thing to just keep
kung
going.
kami, kung papalipat.
Hell yeah.
Sabi ko, 54,000 to
I'm gonna show you what's wrong with it. Yo,
Pinakita ko lang
you
yung
be
plano po sa
you be safe though, Ted. Till you keep,
On YouTube, but one creator is doing significantly better than the other. The B family, formerly known as the AB family, is a family of vloggers who use their channel to Vine.
Actually, hindi na po natin nag-realize.
Wow, A+, that's incredible. Wow, so
Then switched to YouTube for vlogging and gaming. The four members of the B family are Mama B, Papa B, Mr. B, Roberto, and Miss B, Gabriella. They currently have over 9.5 million followers. They also have a number of personal channels, including a family gaming channel, Mama B's channel, Roberto's channel, Gabriella's channel, and many more. Mama B's channel, with 137k subscribers, focuses on Let's Talk videos and sharing her wisdom. Gabriella's channel, with 1.98 million subscribers, focuses on singing and many viral trends. And Roberto's channel, with 612k subscribers, focuses on gaming, mainly Fortnite and Roblox. Let's take a look at the other side. The smaller creator, Killick, is a 17-year-old streamer with 42k subscribers who focuses on gaming, mainly Roblox live playthroughs. Leading up to the book Exposed, there was a time Killick and Roberto seemed to get along, or so we thought. On January 8th, Roberto and Killick had a roast session voice call in Discord.
Ganun sasabihin natin. Pero, last minute po, sinabi nyo, ay, hindi na lang kung anong kagalahan kayo.
nobody records a Discord call.
Siyempre,
This is
tao naman po,
like, this is a roast session.
Actually, wala problema. Babadalan
Killick said it was a typical roast session, suggesting there was nothing serious.
We had a
pagbalik namin sa inyo, kasama ko.
teenagers up to the TV.
On January 14th, Killick claimed Roberto and his girlfriend created Killick's live stream on Roblox Keep Woken. Their insults consisted of terms like Mr. B on top and
Kasi ma'am, ganito ba, kung
seeming to
natin
suggest Roberto
papadala
is
nyo na
superior and Killick is unskilled. After Mr. B rated Killick,
Killick
Killick banned Roberto from the video stream's chat. On January 26th, Roberto and his guild rated Killick's stream once again.
Pero palagay ko, pagkasing bilis na po,
As you can see, I'm starting to get angry, literally, and I finally realized who this is. As you can see, he says Mr. B on top once again.
sinabi na sila magpapalipas.
Things took a disturbing twist when friendly roasting turned into offensive and dirty comments. In response to being antagonized in the game, Killick insulted Roberto and his family to make him mad. Some could argue that Killick took it too far.
Your sister, Gabriella B is still getting like, you get it, like she's in her jaw.
Throughout his stream, he continued to make inappropriate comments.
Dang, this your sister boyfriend? Man, his sister is fine. But your sister is different, boy. Got me licking my lips. Yo, mama gets
Even the description on his video was disrespectful. Mr. B is and he butthurt that his sister is getting every night. He's so hurt that I said his sister getting. He switched his content from Fortnite to Roblox to come in my stream and tried to snipe because he mad his sister don't want his ugly on his Alabama stream. He tried to GB me like his sister gets GB'd on her PH videos. At the end of the description, he left a quote about Jesus. He was very proud of his description at the time, but he removed the comments about Mr. B and Gabriella at a later date. At the time, Killick didn't see anything wrong with his comments and thought he was being entertaining.
This is what we do. I am an entertainer. I am a content creator.
While some may enjoy Killick's form of entertainment, not everyone was laughing. Mama B and Papa B were furious. On January 27th, the B family shared that their children, Roberto and Gabriella, were victims of Killick's inappropriate language to their audience of over 2 million people. Mama B spoke about her values and expressed her feelings about Killick's behavior.
As a mother, as a woman, as someone who has tried so hard to use our platform for greater good and try to educate, inspire, and to watch someone drag their children literally in the mud and feeling that he somehow has the right to do this, I felt my whole body begin to tremble and shake uncontrollably.
Mama B said it took her 8 hours to calm down and speak from a place of education and integrity.
I believe that every moment is a teachable.
When the B family made their video, they assumed Killick was an adult, claiming he was 19 years old when he was in fact 17.
From our understanding, this person is 19 years old, so he is considered an adult.
Papa B explained he believed most Roblox users were under the age of 13, but most users doesn't mean all users. According to Backlinko, 67% of Roblox players are under the age of 16 and 14% of players over the age of 25. Mama B warned their viewers of Killick's language, describing it as controversial, oppressive, toxic, and degrading.
It's so disgusting. It's so degrading. It's so filthy. And imagine, he is directing this to our son about his sister. So imagine being a 16-year-old boy and you are hearing this spoken about your sister.
The B parents believe Philip's words were exploitative.
And he already goes into the overstated language.
Mama B said this was an inappropriate way to talk about women, and Killick had successfully made their family mad. She also shared hurtful comments about Killick, like,
Sir, may phone po kami wife. Sige po, sige po. Sige po, sige po, sige, sige. Sige po, sige po, sige po, sige po. Ay, di, sir, may phone po kami ng wife. Yung maayos po usap namin, may presentation po. Opo, opo. Sige po.
Astra is B media.
Sige po, speaker phone niyo po, speaker phone. Speaker phone niyo po.
like calling Killick's name forgettable and criticizing his Instagram posts.
Those are his highly filtered pictures.
Let's have a look. I mean, we have some time, don't we?
You're kidding.
Mama B said Killick's pictures didn't accurately reflect him as a person.
It's amazing how filters can filter the outside of you, but they can't filter who you are inside.
They addressed Killick's inappropriate YouTube video description that he deleted.
Morally destroying our 16-year-old son and our 15-year-old daughter.
The B parents defended their son Roberto, explaining he was not game hopping, but rather chose to focus on Roblox because he has nothing to prove and does what makes him happy. They called out Killick for his hypocrisy about game hopping and revealed Killick played many different games before settling on Roblox as well. Next, they addressed the Alabama, GB, and PH comments.
Can that language not be likened to that of talking about
Absolutely.
Mama B said that since Killick had referred to GBs specifically, he was being violent. They also pointed out how Killick clapped after making the comments and described him as having an overinflated ego.
that makes you proud. Really, that you are. And the lack of integrity and character that you have.
Mama B even nicknamed Killick the Beethoven of... The B family also spoke about Killick removing the inappropriate YouTube description, but instead of commending him for doing the right thing, they mocked him.
What happened to the But what happened to the tongue? Where's your piece of work? Where's your piece of art?
The B parents addressed Killick's comment about being an entertainer, disagreeing with him and calling him deeply embarrassing.
In order to be a content creator or an entertainer, you must have intellect. You must be able to speak to people in a way. You must be respectful. You must be responsible. And I would go one step further and say that it is people like you that give people like us a bad name. We are not in the same
Not even close.
They claimed their content was completely different from Killick's.
We live on different planets. Our planet is emotional intelligence, love,
Positivity,
maturity, grace,
fun, happy,
responsibility, lifting children up,
protecting children.
The B parents said they don't know why Killick was upset, but suggested he work on his emotional regulation instead of jumping straight to anger and criminal behavior. The B parents, who consider themselves Christians, were not impressed with Killick's quote about Jesus after he insulted their children.
You have not exemplified any qualities like Jesus.
Mama B shared how her religion allowed him to be more understanding of Killick's situation and blamed his behavior on his upbringing.
I forgive you because the males in your life did not teach you how to speak to women or about women in a respectful, kind, and loving manner.
Despite forgiving Killick, the B parents said there are still consequences and not to confuse their kindness with weakness.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Our names are Carmel.
The B parents said they weren't allowing Killick to subject their children to brutal abuse.
I will not allow you to ruin what we have built over the last 2 years because you don't know how to control your emotions.
Then they said something every content creator is afraid of hearing.
We have been fighting for years to say that not everybody deserves a platform. Not everyone deserves to have an audience or a voice because there are a lot of people with mental health issues that they don't know for and they should not have access to young minds.
Kasi yung binila namin sila
And this family isn't all talk. They already approached YouTube staff about their concerns.
We have already contacted our partners at YouTube to make sure that your channel is taken care of. You don't deserve to have a channel or an audience.
The Beef parents also made a statement that could be seen as a threat.
Furthermore, we will make sure that if you try to go to another platform, Twitch or Facebook, we will be there to you.
With the hope of Killick leaving the platform, the Beef family offered advice on how to move forward.
Right now, you need to get on the internet and find mentors, teachers, guides, that can actually lead you down the right path.
Mama B said she believes people can change, but said Killick needs about 10 years to develop a conscience, morals, and foresight. She worried he wouldn't be able to control his impulses.
Tomorrow, it may be that you physically cannot control yourself around a 15-year-old.
They finished their video by giving Killick more advice, this time about women. Mama B described Killick as having over-the-top and overwhelming toxic masculinity and explained that women should be treated like a flower.
When you see a beautiful flower, you admire the flower. You say nice things to the flower. You don't stomp on the flower and try to destroy it.
Despite taking a moment to educate Killick, the B parents ranked him using the hierarchy of medieval royalty, calling their own daughter Gabriella a queen, but Killick a jester.
You are not a king. You're not even a prince. I would equate you more to like a jester. A jester is a professional joker or fool.
The B parents had one last thing to say to Killick.
We are trying to save you from the path of destruction that you are setting up for yourself.
Killick was quick to respond, defending himself in a 16-minute truth video. He revealed crucial information, but didn't really excuse what he said about Gabriella. On January 28th, Killick did his best to explain his interactions with Roberto. Killick said during his Roblox livestream where Roberto and his friends hate-rated him, Killick became upset and defensive about the situation. Killick also addressed the second hate raid from Roberto and his friends, showing evidence of the event.
It kills me. And right here, look what they spam, Mr. B on top. So I'm like, bro, ain't no way you join my game with 6, 7 people to gank. Spam Mr. B on top being obsessed. This is obsession right here.
He said he wished his viewers could see the stream for themselves, but the stream had been taken down. Killick turned his attention to Gabriella and apologized for his disrespectful comments.
Like I said, I truly apologize about the daughter stuff.
He said he thought Gabriella was older because of an Instagram comment he'd seen that referred to her as older sister. When it came time to apologize for what he said about Mama B, he said,
We do talk about each other's moms, baby family, all that. That's just what we do.
Killick also shared information the B family left out or weren't informed of by their son. Killick tried to apologize to Roberto very early on after realizing Gabriella's age. He asked his friend Pure to invite Roberto to a Discord group chat, to which Killick posted links to YouTube's terms of service and their policy on hate speech to show Roberto that hate rating isn't acceptable. Killick also wanted to apologize to Roberto for his comments about Gabriella, but Roberto left the chat without saying a word. They added Roberto in the chat a second time, but he left again. Killick said he also wanted to explain to Roberto why he reacted the way he did.
I was trolling. Obviously, I was trying to make him mad. You know, showing his sister calling his son name. I ain't gonna lie, that was bad as stuff. I shouldn't do that. But like the reason why I did that was retaliation. And where I'm from, that's how we get under people's skins.
But Roberto wasn't willing to listen, so Killick gave up.
I went to sleep. I wasn't thinking nothing of it. It's just Roblox beef.
And this led to the B family making the situation public.
I wake up with like 500 pings, 200 hate messages on Instagram and Discord. And I'm like, what the hell?
At first, Killick was amused by Roberto telling his parents, I'm dead. This told his mom and dad to make a vid on me. I'ma be going live to explain. After watching the video, Killick felt the B family wasn't being truthful and said they were defaming his character.
There's no lying on me.
The first lie involved his age. As we know, Killick is 17, not 19 as they claimed. The second lie involved serious allegations of forced intimacy.
Dude, me roasting your daughter and your son, that is crazy.
Killick continued to say Roberto was the one who instigated the argument.
Look at it from my perspective, he kept coming to me. I wasn't coming to him, he was coming to me.
He ended his video by saying,
I'm just being real. I'm 17, he's 16. It was a Roblox YouTuber beef. It shouldn't even be this big. And y'all really out here calling me 19 and calling me a red, saying I'm beneath. Technically I'm beneath y'all. Like, even if y'all get my channel terminated, that's cool, I guess. But that make y'all look weird though. Like y'all got a teenager beef. Two grown people got teenager beef.
48 hours went by and Killick had breaking news to share. The Picture Perfect family was being exposed after suspicious
Hindi nga na isa-isa kasi tatawa. Hindi nga nakaporma sa akin yung mga
screenshots resurfaced online.
Want a chance to share your amazing musical talent with our global community? Don't miss.
Ewan ko usap, pero hindi kinakausap pa kita eh. Ito, may kausap ako ito. Kung bibili mo na. Ha?
Pero kung bakit marami na yung madadali ko?
Hindi kami marami. Kaya siya it comes to that thing. Kung kunyari lahat binda, bigyan ko okay yan. Kasi at least nakita mo lang kung paano ko inahin.
Hindi okay naman kung pagka gusto ko nga.
Kaya lang kami confrontation, nakita mo, yung lalaki. Binasa mo sa akin, binasa niya rin sa asawa niya. Nagiging confrontation na. Ako, kung hindi ko kinuha, kunyari wala ako dito, kinakausap mo. Yun nga, mami sabihin mo, dalhin na yan. Sa kasi sure, gugulong. Pero, ito kasi mga makikita dyan. Kami dito. Ako mo, binasan gano'n. Kaya nagkulat ako pagdating ng galit na eh. Yung lalaki. Ano ba sinabi kong mali sa ano?
Wala.
Sabi
Hindi
mo,
pa kami pagkamaano ng talaga lalaki. Parang hindi ko na kung mayabang na
yung ba galit sa ano?
On January 30th, Killick released a video called She Was Only 13 and tried to expose the parents for questionable contact. An unbiased party, someone who was neither a fan of the B family or Killick, brought to light some concerning videos about Gabriella.
Dahil ka kalikat ko eh. Wala problema. Kung ano may gusto mo, kinalaman na 50 na o kinalaman na hindi na binibili mo sa akin. Ano pwede niya? Ano ang professional? Eh, wala naman siya hindi ko kahit transfer. Wala naman siya. Tinanong mo, kano katagal na ito, lima, yung pinakasip sa video, yung sa araw. Diba? Kasi ganda sinabi, pwede naman ito kung mga pagsabihan. Ako naman mo, pwede ka di magbayan. Pwede ka na lang magbayan.
Titled Dad Reacts to My Secret Camera Roll. In the thumbnail, there is a pixelated photo in the corner, seeming to suggest an explicit photo. However, the thumbnail has recently been unpixelated, showing it was an innocent photo, a banana duck. Killick didn't know the parents changed the thumbnail, but he had a valid reason to criticize them for the initial pixelated thumbnail.
These are the people y'all support. These are the people y'all support. The same people who's using their daughter for pranks. This is them suggesting that there are explicit images on their daughter's phone, who at the time was 13.
Reacting to secret camera roll is a common video on YouTube that tends to rake in millions of views. However, the video usually consists of explicit or racy photos, and the participant involved is usually an adult, making the situation less awkward. He ended the video, agreeing with something Mama B said.
In our own hands, there's no excuse for speaking of children, which I agree with 100%.
And that's not all. Killick had more to say in a 34-minute response video, giving more insight into the situation that wasn't explained accurately by the B parents. In the description, he said the purpose for the video was to apologize to Gabriella, but also to defend himself against the B family. He claimed he didn't mean forced intimacy when he was making GB comments. He said he was referring to multiple consenting partners getting intimate. He continued to apologize to Gabriella.
The thing I was talking about was totally different. Here, I really do apologize to Gabriella B. Like, sincerely, I really do. I hope, Gabriella, you can really accept my apology.
He said the B family had taken his words out of context to make him look bad. Despite sharing his real age in his previous video, Killick said it was too late to stop hateful messages and threats telling him to end his life. Killick said he believes Roberto lied about Killick's age to his parents.
Your son just informed y'all just like how you misinformed y'all on my age, trying to make it seem like I was a predator and everything.
This time, Killick pulled up an old video of his from August 3rd, 2021 to show proof of his age.
Said how old am I right now? 16, bro.
Killick explained the video was filmed 14 days prior to his birthday. He turned 17 years old on August 18th. Killick said he never actually played a game with Roberto, and the only time they had a long interaction was in a roast session on Discord voice. Killick continued to state Roberto was the one harassing him and not the other way around.
I did not turn on your 16-year-old son. Your son tore down me and had an outburst. This was literally your son misinformed y'all here.
Killick also explained he removed the inappropriate YouTube description out of respect for Roberto and Gabriella, even after Roberto didn't want to hear his apology. Killick also addressed the Jesus quote he used in his YouTube description, saying it was a cut and paste from his favorite YouTuber, Corey X Kenshin. Killick also called out the B parents for announcing their godliness because Christian beliefs state they are all created equal.
We are not immortal.
godliness.
80 years from now, nobody's gonna know who y'all are. Just like how nobody's gonna know who I am. You feel me? We are not guys, dude.
He said Roberto isn't godly because he harassed them in multiple hate tweets. He also questioned if Roberto should have his account terminated for harassment and hate reading, as both are against YouTube's policies.
I get that y'all protecting your daughter, but how your son definitely needs to own up to it.
Killick addressed the Bee parents' concern with his content getting into young minds. He explained his content is age-restricted to 18+. However, it's unclear if this is true, as many videos are still accessible without age verification. If Killick's content is age-restricted, this raises another interesting concern. This would mean 16-year-old Roberto would have created a fake account to view 18+ content. Killick also called out the Bee parents for not being responsible enough to ask their fans not to send hateful messages to Killick, especially after getting his age wrong. Killick brought up the Bee parents' hypocrisy towards children, claiming they disrespected him when looking through his Instagram photos.
You know, I thought you respect children. If it was highly filtered, you wouldn't even be able to see pores in my skin or glycerin or any of that. And y'all also are grown adults talking about a 17-year-old pictures.
He called the Bee parents unprofessional for laughing when they introduced themselves as Karma, and said he felt like they were using the drama for content. Killick further accused them of doing this for content because his account hadn't been terminated like they said it would. Towards the end of the video, Killick said he had no hard feelings towards Roberto. He just doesn't like him as a person. Killick said he felt offended when they spoke poorly about his upbringing.
Yeah, you said I didn't have no parents growing up, no mentors. Defamation of character, dog. Defamation of character.
Killick ended the video by saying if they were serious, they would have pursued legal action, but they didn't. No matter how stressful and devastating this must be on 17-year-old Killick, there's no doubt what he said was harmful for Gabriella. Just 24 hours after Killick's response video, the Bee siblings broke their silence, one teary-eyed and another with evidence that may change Killick's narrative for good.
Let's go!
On January 30th, Gabriella decided she wanted to address the situation personally. Mama Bee defended their family for going silent after Killick's multiple videos about the situation.
Silence is not an admission of guilt. Silence is very powerful. When you are dealing with toxic people and toxic environments, silence just means that I'm not engaging with you.
She claimed the reason for their silence was because they were seeking legal help, and that Mama Bee was in the video because she didn't want anything to be held against Gabriella. Gabriella said their family didn't lie about anything, and the only false information they had was Killick's age, which didn't seem to matter to them.
Doesn't play a factor, because nobody should be saying that about a 15-year-old, and that just because I'm a girl doesn't give you the floor to objectify me.
Gabriella said the situation has been very hard for her, especially as a girl. She claimed to have never spoken to Killick in her life, but she wanted to stand up against him to show her true character.
I'm a person. I have a brain. I have feelings. I have a heart.
And there are so many other things that you should be doing right now as a 15-year-old girl, but instead we are defending ourselves.
Trying to hold back the tears because it's so scary for other girls.
As Gabriella was crying, she apologized and told her audience that she wasn't trying to guilt trip them and didn't want to appear weak. Gabriella said she's concerned that a lot of girls can feel unsafe online and talked about what can be done to protect them.
I want platforms like YouTube and Twitch and Facebook and Instagram to monitor the people that they put on a platform.
Gabriella said people shouldn't be able to speak freely without consequences, and Mama Bee added she was concerned about other victims not being able to get justice because they lack a platform. Mama Bee spoke about the impact the video could have.
And that's why We're doing this not just for ourselves, but to change the world.
Mama B reminded her daughter they were going to continue to be a source of light.
Just remember, Gabby, our family has always been a source of light in the world. And where the light is really bright, the darkness is also equally as powerful. So don't forget that. There is so much light. Here, there's also a lot of darkness because there's always that battle that never ends in this world. And every time something good is about to happen, something bad is trying to stop it. So don't forget that, Gabby, okay? In the end, the truth and goodness, what is right and righteousness, always wins.
Later in the video, Roberto made an appearance. Mama B backed Roberto, saying she's not blindly defending her son.
If my son was guilty as a Latina mother, as any parent, I would be the first person to hold my son accountable.
Then, Roberto revealed a key piece of information that seemed to flip the narrative. Roberto claimed the drama with Killick had been going on since May 2021 and shared video evidence suggesting Killick was the one who initiated the drama.
Cause Gabriella B sucking on.
Roberto described the incident, explaining that other people in voice call were telling Killick to cool off with the comments, while Roberto stayed silent. Roberto said he understands the gaming community can get heated and intense, but said if Killick was feeling harassed or attacked, he should have reported him instead of commenting on his sister. As the video came to an end, Mama B said it's never okay to go after someone's family members, but just 24 hours later, more concerning material surfaced online, making the situation more was.
Shit ka
Killick
dito.
was banned from playing Deep Woken on Roblox. One person alleged Killick was banned from the game because of a $2,000 bribe. People suspect the bribe may be from the B family. In another revelation, the B family allegedly hid 3 videos involving some sort of secret camera roll content with their daughter Gabriella, raising even more concern about the alleged exploitation of their child.
Hindi,
DMs
dito ka lang,
between Roberto
Jacob.
and an unknown person were also
Wala.
leaked, where Roberto
Wala.
calls Killick a racial
Nag-go
slur.
home na.
The B parents were quick to defend their son on Twitter. Now our son is being accused of racism with Photoshop DMs. It's absolutely not true. Fake DMs are common. It unfortunately happens all the time. But an alleged Roblox developer provided a screenshot of Roberto allegedly saying a racial slur. And along with that, the B parents' tweet disappeared. Things got even messier on January 31st when a moderator in Roberto's Discord announced Roberto was hacked and any messages containing racial slurs were not from Roberto himself. This wasn't the end for Killick. He continued to talk about the situation in every live stream, repeating what he already addressed. He named his videos with related keywords to the drama, such as the B fans, Mr. B, I'm sorry, and the truth.
This is Blankos, the free-to-play multiplayer game where you can unlock, earn, and sell NFTs in-game. In Blankos, it pays to play. Literally.
Nasa room.
Choose to sell your Blankos on the mythical marketplace or build an epic collection of
Nakalimutan ko
iconic
kung ano yung
designs
Tagalog ng
by
room
the
kaya
world's
sinabi ko na
most
lang room.
talented artists. Play Blankos your way. Go on solo quests or team up with your friends. Join the party now. Download and play free at blankos.com.
Bro, why did you have to hit me twice? Because that would have been set up. Clutch. Corvette. No, why?
Take care of nature, nature takes care of us.
Corvette.
Ang mga farmers pala ay dapat ipag-
Ayun, how do you not die from that?
buhay ko na ako isang magsasaka.
Nung nagka-pandemic po, saka po talaga na-realize ng maraming tao yung importance po ng farm.
Agriculture is an old skill, not learned.
I'm so good. I'm so happy that they didn't patch that up.
More fun awaits in the Philippines as we awaken the plantitos, plantitas, animal lovers, and farmers in you.
I wanna ruin the friendship.
On curious and to be explorers.
Oh!
Only tomorrow.
When
Nearly a
lag
week
back?
after the B family's
When
Let
lag
Me Speak
back?
video, Killick decided it was time to address Roberto's claim that he
When lag
had
back?
arguments in May. In a 15-minute video, Killick said there was more context behind the clip of the first time Killick spoke inappropriately about Gabriella. Similar to the other times Killick spoke poorly about Gabriella, Killick said Roberto and a few other gamers were on voice chat while in a game and they were all trash-talking each other, seeming to suggest it was just for fun.
You feel me? It's basically online trash talk, so I don't take online seriously.
He also addressed his videos where he used the Travis Scott apology in his thumbnail.
But when I say what I say genuinely. Everything that come out my mouth is not cat. You feel me? When I say I'm sorry to a person, I'm sorry to that person. In every video, people be calling it Travis Scott apologies. But they don't realize that I'm not apologizing to them. I'm actually apologizing to her. And that's what makes it different stories.
As Killick continued to stay bold and strong, speaking his mind, the B family made an unexpected move. They unlisted both of their videos.
Bro,
following
I have
up Killick.
2006
The video is
MS.
still viewable if
I'm
you have
basically
the links,
in
but it no
2006.
longer appears on their channel and cannot be found through the search engine. It's unclear why they unlisted their videos. Some may see this as a guilty move. The video is still viewable if you have the links, but it no longer appears on their channel and cannot be found through the search engine. It's unclear why they unlisted their videos. Some may see this as a guilty move, but as the B family
I can win
mentioned
this.
before,
I can win this.
Silence is not an admission of guilt.
this was good news for Killick. He named his recent live streams after the big news. Killick seemed to put an end to the drama with his fan base by making a video titled The B Fans, My Last Message. But it wasn't a normal closure video. Killick continued to criticize the family, making the same points as he did in previous videos. Killick also suggested the B
Bro, how
family's
did I
argument.
almost get rolled by a bridge rookie 5?
O, sana yung pito may wala na ba?
nagpapasarap. Alay ma'am, wala pa po yung PNP clearance yan. Hindi, iniwan ko doon. Hindi, nag-uusapan lang po namin magkano natin doon. Wala na siya pupuntahan, mami. Amoy pa lang, sarap na, tapos nagsisorry ka pa. Saan ba tayo kumain nito? Sa ano? Sa... Iba mo, thank you. Stressful pa yan, no? Araw. Hoy.
Argument wouldn't hold up in court. He ended the video confidently and appeared to not be shaken by the drama, telling viewers to educate themselves.
Do your own research. But y'all making these stories and trying to profile people, you look goofy because the police looking at you laughing.
Without a doubt, this situation is a reality check for Killick. In the entertainment world, where roasting has become a sport, as seen on shows like Comedy Central's Revenge of the Exes, not everyone has the skill to carefully craft a snarky and humorous insult. But he wasn't the only one at fault. The B family has their own issues that will be examined closely after this situation. This is the story of Killick.
Grammarly helps you work more efficiently, which makes accomplishing your work goals easier than ever before.
In my past, I said disgusting things to people, and I am so ashamed of myself for using racist rhetoric, and I am so sorry.
Kami nakuha ng picture na naka-Android, bibigay ko na. Mami, yung palang carousel, na-i-post mo sa ano? Ha? Kaya hindi siya ma-promote to. Na-i-post mo sa new cars.
Yung alin?
Yung city. Ano nga ba? Kahit anong gawin kung ayaw, kasi nakalagay sa inyo. Ngayon, considered as one ad na siya. Kaya, click mo ko, yung new cars. Ito na po. Ang new cars kasi hindi mo po. Hindi na rin siya mag-search mo. Kasi pero sinubukan ko muna ko sabi, hindi po siya mag-search kasi sa new cars sa lalabas eh. Nawa ko. Nireport ko siya dito. Sabi na ito busy ka na ba? Niremind ko lang sa'yo, parang tutuloy ko lang. Hindi ko rin sabihin sa'yo, meron parang gano'n nangyayari. Dahil kasi report, ang makakagawa lang yan at
bakit?
pero mo, pagkakitang nasabi. Dinadalian talaga.
Sabi mo, bumigay ko. Ay, hindi mo. Baka hindi rin bumigay.
Dinadalian talaga, pinag-group yan, ganda na ano yan. Dinadalian talaga mga ganyan. Aralin mo, hindi lang kaninang kitso yun saan nakadali.
Ay, dito na mo. Dalawa yan ako. Kasi ito.
Wala pa lang.
Naliyan niya. Baka di na rin nila na doon, no? Na, no? Baka na binayin dito. Kasi yung pit mo. Ay, magpitan mo ko ko sa atin.
Tanong mo kung napadala na.
Ha? Ano yung po? Oh, thank you, delivery boy. My God. Kaya hindi ko dito. Nabukay yung dito.
Sarap, diba? Sabi mo masarap, text mo. Mayabang siya magsalita sa anak niya yung pera. Diba?
Sino?
Oo ba?
Di ba hindi battery anak niya, pinangalan niya lang doon.
Para yung hindi
Ano lang, 2003 battery.
Hindi, para yung hindi ma-trace siguro sa BIR. Ito ako ba?
Si Aero.
Hindi ma-trace siguro sa BIR. Tawag ka na mayaman, magtibago ko yung video mo. Hindi nga. Ang pagka nagbanggit ka na ng asset mo, mayaman. Sinatang mo yung video mo. Yung nga na kami, yun nga na matanda, yung mga safety kami agad ng dinero. Hindi ma-alert na. Tama. Napakamalamanan yung salita. Ay, mga totoo nga. Tama. Hindi din naman. Pinatukan ko din. Pinakagala sa ayaw na lang. May-ari ka ng dinero. Diba? Hindi tayo mayaman talaga yung tayo mag-usap. Hindi tayo konti. Hindi lang. Libre wala na alam. Unang luto lang yun. Dapat ito, restaurant tayo nito. Ayun po. Makaroon siya. Kasi yung nakapagano ko siya rin.
Ayun.
Kasi dapat gawin yung santa. Kung santa eh. Dapat gawin ito.
Saan mo ka ng ano?
Mga pati. Ang sabi na ang
Water
dami. Kung may hinahin ako, ano ba na? Basta huwag lang tayo sinira na nila, hindi mahala nila ito. Ito, ano ito talaga? Bibilig na.
Ikaw sa masaya na. Ay, tapos naman.
Sila may kasi laging guilty yun. Kapag kumabalik ito. Share tayo sa... Share na rin ito sa ano. Tayo yung dami nito ano. Hindi lagi ako may alagos na 10,000 ano, mabalik na kung may papagawa ko na ako. Okay, hindi ko muna siya iisip makita. Hindi ba diba ako? Diba ay makulit. Yan lang, hindi nasabi ko sa'yo kung charge ka o di ka. Ang ba't mo sabi yan? Isa lang yata ang dalag, di mo malala.
Hindi pinakulita mo.
Sweep kasi talagang oven talaga yun.
Ate, saan na kanila eh?
Upset. Pinagamit ko na upset. Yung ginagamit. Pag gamitin mo na ito, nasarapan. E nangyari na presyo na shift yung binilagay ko, accent pa rin. Kasi nakita ko yung shift. Saka alam ko talaga ng quality. Saka alam ko talaga may problema yung may quality. Eh kung wala akong asa, okay lang ako. Pero yung nasa pinagawa ko maayos, usually yung sa akin. Ganun ko. Kanya na nilay, nalaman ko sila. Hindi na ito ako magpara. Ngayon, kahit sabihin natin alaman na ang bigay, ang bahay sa may kotse. Dito sa mga binibili ng kotse, hindi nakakatakot. Kaya lang kung ano, dahil bibigyan natin yung bigay, 20 kasi yung gusto. Kasi talaga nila. Hindi na ako nakatatawa ka. Tapos ako tayo ngayon, pagka hindi talaga pwede kung magpapakasa ko, mag-aawayan niyo. Huwag natin ko mga dito. Yung mga parang gagawin mo lahat, malipigil mo lang. Ikaw yung numero unong ayaw, pero tayo dito. Uy, beta o pwede ko. Ano sinabi ko sa'yo? Mami, tatanong ko muna na kasa. Kung ano, kasi tawag niya yung natin kung nagpalit mo ang carrying gas. Kalo ganyan. Kahit bibig ka mo kaya, mapipigil. Maayos na binigay mo, 1,000 tinakbo. Magkakatarot eh. Kung talagang magaling ka ng 50 unit, alam mo yun na kailangan yung macro. Kailangan yung macro sa 50. Hindi na ito makasagot sa background na ma'am, wala naman kayo sinabi sa akin na yun. Michelle, hindi niya alam.
Hindi alam mo ba ikaw?
Hindi na nga alam eh. Wala gumagawa na ano eh. Dapat ikaw, tayo ba, meron tayo na ano na pupunta sa sasabihin mo dapat sa bako pa lang ang buhay. Alin natin kung touch na dapat o alam na. Lagi nga wala sa lugar.
To everyone, but especially to those in the black community, because only you guys can forgive me for this.
One of the worst I've ever.
In my past, I said disgusting things to people, and I am so ashamed of myself for using racist rhetoric, and I am so sorry to everyone, but especially to those in the black community, because only you guys can forgive me for this.
One of the worst I've ever seen. She definitely took notes from the other crappy ones, is how a YouTube comment described Only JS's public apology following just one of her numerous different TikTok controversies.
What is going on with you white saviors that keep trying to defend JS for saying N-word lover, bro? You must say it too.
This is what makes Only JS's story unique. Despite having incredibly uncontroversial content,
If you're at a house party and you got a drink in your hand, don't hold it up here by your chest. Try to hold it more down towards your hip. This will make you seem more open and confident, and people will be more willing to come up and talk to you.
she's found herself in a big scandal on the political TikTok battlefield every couple of months for the last 3 years.
At this point, people of color should not be following Only JS.
Why is Only JS more prone to getting involved in these types of controversies? Is it something to do with how she responds to those critical of her?
I barely text my family back, and I just had to move apartments because my address got leaked, and you're gonna view my priority?
After a petition to ban Only JS from TikTok garnered over 400,000 signatures, it'd be safe to say that she's a contender for the platform's most hated creator. And while such a title seems unfair without any further information or knowledge, as we go through explaining how this hatred Kate comments saying, "Yeah, I never liked Only JS. She's so annoying. JS seems like a horrible person," that pushed me to the edge. The harsh and possibly even backwards reality of life is that those who acknowledge and complain about hate only end up receiving more hate. In the beginning, Only JS likely received a pretty standard amount of negative feedback, owing to maybe a slightly annoying delivery as she mentioned in her tweet. The problem that Only JS had was that she really struggled to ignore criticism, and always seemed to give way too much attention to any situation in which there was some kind of negative sentiment against her name. It's got to be a running theme throughout this whole video, but it started with her simple inability to ignore basic negative comments, such as, "Yeah, I never liked Only JS," which is a pretty tame comment, giving her a foundational reputation as someone who would crack if you simply applied enough pressure. 3 months later, this reputation as a creator who would respond to negative criticism would continue after Only JS discovered that another creator by the name of the Jonathan Moss had been copying some of her videos word for word.
Did you know that your birth month actually has a huge effect on who you are as a person and the things that could possibly happen to you?
Yo, did you know that your birth month actually has a huge effect on you and the things that can happen to you in your life?
People born in March are way more likely to have asthma, and I can actually speak to this one because my little sister, the only one born in March, has asthma.
People born in March are actually more likely to have asthma. And I can speak to that because my cousin, the only person born in March, has asthma.
Only JS would respond to the copied videos in a tweet reading, "TikTok creators should be called out when they copy other TikTok creators' videos word for word," alongside a video calling out the Jonathan Moss directly. Jonathan responded by stating that he'd simply found the information on Google, and as a result, Only JS was berated and mocked by her audience, with them stating that she was in the wrong for copying the information from Google. "This information is from a website. Why are you copying a copier? Copied from Google, then complains when others do the same. Which Business Insider article is this from?" There was clearly a bit of an injustice being done here. To state that her information was invalid because it was found on Google has got to be one of the dumbest arguments ever made. What did they expect her to do? Find some old 1850s foundational manuscript covered in dust at the National Library and take her facts from there? Jonathan Moss had clearly copied her videos word for word after Only JS had posted them originally, meaning there was no doubt about who copied who. However, Only JS was still painted as being in the wrong for one simple reason. They knew they could get a reaction out of her if they simply applied enough pressure, which they eventually would. After receiving hundreds of negative comments on her response, Only JS would take to Reddit stating, "He said that he found it on Google," which I mean he did, but only after watching my video. "I'm now getting a huge amount of hate, people saying I'm lying. I copied Google too, I'm problematic, I should be cancelled, etc. I have a hard time dealing with the negativity. I still don't know what to do. I don't think I've done anything wrong. Maybe you do, but honestly I don't see it." Now, you probably wouldn't go so far as to say that only JS was playing the victim, but she was once again complaining about the circumstances that she had found herself in. And to reiterate the point from earlier, complaining about hate doesn't make it go away, but rather amplifies it, as the audience will look for increasingly petty things to berate you for. With this in mind, it's barely surprising to find out that approximately 6 months later, an old message will be dug up in which only JS had said the N-word, taking center stage as her brand new colossal-sized controversy.
I love you no matter your sex, your gender, your sexuality, your faith, or your race.
Guess that didn't age well, cause this you at the bottom calling someone the hard ER, a word used to oppress black people. That's why I don't trust people with savior complexes, bro. I feel like it's always a second agenda behind what you do. If you say it's 2 to 3 years old, you were 20 years old when you said it. The other day, Addison was canceled for old BLM tweets from 2016. Let's see if everyone keeps the same energy. You're a role model to 10 million people, bro. I hope things get better, and I hope you educate.
There were a couple of comments in support of only JS, however, as a whole, and understandably, the response was mostly negative. All these white people saying, it happened 4 years ago. Literally, it doesn't matter. She did it and needs to take responsibility. The hard ER, she's done. And at only JS, you got caught in 4K. The best way that JS could have responded to this expose would have either been no response at all, or a short, cool, calm, collected, unemotional post or video. Alternatively, she could have thrown a real curveball and simply said, I'm not sorry, which would have actually been respectable, as it's 100 times harder than simply getting in front of the camera and blurting out some pre-written stupid script with the goal of suppressing the criticism in the short term. However, with a track record like only JS, obviously she did none of these, and rather posted a long, emotionally charged, scripted, generic social media apology, which felt as though it was designed to trick the audience into coming away with a specific feeling, as is usually the case with these types of public apologies.
And there is no excuse, and there are no justifications for what I said, and you guys deserve better. And when I first saw the screenshots, I didn't even think that they were real, because I forgot how hateful and how angry of a person I used to be.
Another YouTuber slash TikToker by the name of Public Art, who spoke to JS on the phone prior to the apology, thought that the intentions were sincere and that the apology was simply delivered poorly.
I actually had a conversation, a private phone call conversation with JS about this situation. She seemed pretty sincere about how sorry she was. Again, like I said, I thought she was being genuine. What she produced was rough. It was less than stellar.
Others such as Freak the Gemini were less optimistic.
You literally hit us with a Playboy party album. All that suspense, just for it to be trash. The worst insult you could tell somebody was liking black people. Wow.
With the scandal being shared across every platform imaginable, only JS would also lose all of her sponsors, as well as a Netflix podcast she'd been hosting by the name of Know It All. At Tinder, this is what your walking ad is saying. She has a Netflix podcast. Everyone needs to tag at Netflix.
Netflix has cut ties with JS. Big dubs.
Only JS was clearly feeling the pressure, and understandably wanted to make things right with her audience. So she'd end the apology by stating that she wanted to
share my platform with some amazing black creators who are going to tell their story to try and educate others on the trauma that happens when we use this kind of language.
Which would eventually result in her and another African-American content creator by the name of Aunt Karen agreeing to collaborate on Only JS's channel. In addition to this, 2 weeks after the apology, Only JS would go to the effort of posting a video talking about how she had read a book on anti-racism.
The first book that I decided to pick up was How to Be Anti-Racist by Dr. Ibram Kendi, and this will push readers that think that they're not racist into being something better.
To her credit, she did acknowledge that it was a grift in the title, stating, I know it might come off as performative, talking about this at the end of Black History Month, but I'm trying to just educate myself and use my platform for good. However, her audience wasn't buying any of the lies. I bet after this video she just tossed the book like it's nothing. That seems like an amazing book for you, but I think you missed some pages. Maybe you missed a few chapters? Read it again. But hey, at least she was still in the process of sharing her platform with some other black content creators as she promised, right? Well, no.
So this message is for you, Only Jays, after your whole N-word debacle. Said you want to collaborate with me. We email, and suddenly you've dropped off the face of the earth. Are black people just tokens for you to use when you're ready to play? If you were really truly sorry about what you said, you would not have lied and said you were going to do something you clearly aren't trying to do.
The TikTok essentially outlined that after agreeing to collaborate, Only JS would ghost this creator by the name of Aunt Karen once everyone had forgotten about the drama. Now, to only JS's credit, Aunt Karen's call-out was even more pathetic than JS's original apology, because setting up a collaboration with another creator can be incredibly difficult. There's always problems relating to difference in content style, difference in schedule, difference in time zones, the problem of coming up with a video idea that will be a hit with both audiences, what part of the script do I allocate to the other person, etc, etc. Yet, Aunt Karen's argument in the call-out was, because only JS ghosted me, she's therefore a racist.
Why not just be racist? Just say you're racist.
Now, maybe there was some racism involved in the decision, who knows? But it's still a lazy, low-hanging fruit argument designed to create drama out of the highly likely reality, being that collaborations are just incredibly difficult to set up successfully. In addition to this, a feature on only JS's page with over 10 million followers is going to cost a brand probably hundreds of thousands of dollars, and despite only JS offering one of these spots to Aunt Karen for free, Aunt Karen still seemed to narcissistically think that she was the one providing only JS with the opportunity.
I really gave you an opportunity. I really said, you know what, Aunt Karen? Let's see what she has to say. Let's see how we can mutually help each other.
Aunt Karen's call-out was entitled and poorly thought out, but not invalid for one simple reason. Only JS made a promise. There are obviously exceptions, but most of the time, if you say you're going to do something publicly, you have to follow through with it or people are going to notice. JS would initially discuss the ghosting in an Instagram voice message.
So I am sorry for basically ghosting you. I didn't mean to do that. I just have a very chaotic schedule and ADHD on top of that, so I genuinely just forgot. It wasn't me trying to ignore you. You could have just hit me up again, but instead you decided to go public and try to add public pressure onto me, and that's not cool, so I don't want to collaborate.
Which will once again receive a response from Aunt Karen, explaining that she had emailed only JS multiple times with no reply.
You're gonna put it on me? In your voicemail, you said I should have emailed you again? April 4th, I emailed you. How many times do you expect me to message you, waiting on you to continuously ghost me?
Now, only JS probably could have left it at that, and the drama would have been over within 4 weeks. However, as Papa Gut said most accurately,
for whatever reason, JS doesn't know how to just stop. Like, when somebody criticizes JS responds, and that's the worst thing.
And in classic only JS fashion, she'd post another emotionally charged response to the drama.
Today's episode of What Are People Mad at Me For Now? Not checking my emails in a timely manner. I was joking. Forgot to respond to an email from this creator that wanted to collab with me, and instead of just like hitting me up again, they made 7 videos about it. Can you please leave me the f alone? I have a diagnosed neurological disorder that makes me forget things and procrastinate due to time blindness. I forget to eat for days. I procrastinate sleep.
We mentioned earlier that the more attention only JS gave to each of these scandals, the more she'd be held accountable for increasingly petty incidents. Well, after this explosive response, the things that her audience would call her out on were taken to the absolute extreme. For example, she would post this video.
You can get your letters delivered for free without any postage if you just put where you want it to go on the return address instead of where it's actually supposed to be.
Which would get the post office activists involved with comments such as, yes, please encourage people to do activities that cause the already failing post office to lose more money. Or when she posts this video saying nothing more than what degree she did.
So I got my college degrees in math and computer science, which means that I was never really good at writing.
To receive comments such as, I thought you would have majored in saying slur sciences. However, it eventually got to the point where only JS couldn't even make jokes anymore without being cancelled. Seriously. On the 23rd of May 2021, only JS would post the following video.
If a service dog ever approaches you but they're alone, that means that their owner is in trouble and they probably can't move, so you should follow him, because you'll get a free wallet.
It was clearly a light-hearted joke, summed up in comments such as, she probably said the wallet thing to lighten the mood of something bad. Obviously she wouldn't take a wallet and probably knew that most people would. Bro, do people get this as a joke? Y'all are so sensitive. However, the rest of her audience simply saw yet another opportunity to put only JS through another period of hardship. Can't believe this is still up. It's obvious that it's a joke, but some people may still do it. It could start a trend. What you post on the internet reaches so many people, and some of those people may be inconsiderate or apathetic towards others and do something wrong as a joke that highly affects another person. Take some YouTube and TikTok prank channels for example.
When is going to be enough to say only JS is not a good creator, should not be followed, and should not be listened to. My child, they are a service dog user. This is not a kind of joke you want to be putting out there. It's not funny to anybody who uses a service dog.
With all this in mind, the petition with over 400,000 signatures to have Only JS banned is barely a surprise. She dug herself into a hole by displaying an inability to switch off from the audience after being involved in scandal after scandal after scandal. Sometimes criticism from the audience is genuine and can be spotted easily because it's worded in a constructive way, but a lot of the time, without them even realizing it, people write mean or critical things just to see if you're the type of person to crack, respond, or apologize, as has been the case throughout Only JS's entire TikTok career. She's been tested over and over and over, yet has been unable to switch off and let things go whenever she's been put under pressure. As an end result, there's not only a loss of respect, but also a never-ending freight train of negativity and hatred.
Rapper and record producer Travis Scott held a concert in his hometown, but it wasn't the heartwarming return he hoped for.
It just felt like we was like literally like in hell, bro. Like it felt like we was in a concert in hell.
Over 300 people were injured and 10 people passed away. Astro World Festival 2021 already ranks among the deadliest US concerts ever. People can be heard pleading for help. But Travis doesn't seem to realize the pain his fans are going through. Travis has issued an apology.
I just want to send out prayers to the...
But many people are calling him out.
It's probably the worst apology I've seen in a very, very long time.
There's no I'm sorry. It's crazy.
This is fake. This is a forced emotion that he's presenting right now. Is that because of his altered state, or is that because he genuinely doesn't feel it?
Lawsuits have been made against Travis and Drake. And many celebrities at the festival have made statements, including Kylie Jenner and Drake. Some people on TikTok don't believe this was an accident.
There is so many signs and symbols showing that this was a lower vibrational, evil ritual.
I feel like no one's talking about this f***ing eyeball. Look at this. That's an eyeball looking at everybody.
What went wrong at Travis's concert?
The real question here is, who is responsible? Is it the event organizers or is it Travis Scott?
Did his staff not understand the severity of the situation? Here's what we know so far. Travis Scott, whose real name is Jacques Webster, is famous for his hip-hop music and his energetic and wild live shows. Travis's career took off when he released his 2018 album Astro World, inspired by his hometown's now permanently closed theme park, also called Astro World. The album went platinum 4 times, and Billboard described Travis's music as the euphoria of an acid trip with disarming angst fit for all-night raging. The Washington Post says Travis is past A-list status and now is a cultural phenomenon. So, what's so thrilling about being at one of Travis's live performances? The intense dancing, mosh pits, stage diving, sweat, and bloody noses are staples of the Travis Scott live experience. Travis describes this upbeat experience as raging. In a 2015 interview with British GQ, Travis said he was inspired by WWF. Since I was 6, I wanted to be a wrestler. So in performances, I always wanted to make it feel like it was the WWF or some shit. Travis also explained what raging at a concert meant. "We don't want you standing around, like, this is a no-stand zone. You find anything you're going to use to get you, like, lit. Whatever you want to do, man, just get in and you just have fun. At the end of the night, you should be throwing up." Raging is such a big part of Travis's concerts, he calls out fans who aren't putting in all their energy.
Hey, yo, listen, son. You either get on this stage and rage or take your mother home, you understand?
The concert goer is then seen jumping with more energy and jumps into the crowd when Travis begins screaming during his song. Travis Scott has headlined 3 tours and 1 digital tour and was a supporting artist on 4 other tours. Even with all this experience, things didn't work out at Travis Scott's Astroworld Festival in 2021. The Astroworld Festival was a 2-day event expected to take place on November 5th to 6th at NRG Park in Travis's hometown, Houston, Texas. The concert was sold out with an estimated 50,000 attendees. Anyone was welcome to attend, even children, as long as a parent was with them, which was strange because Travis is known for encouraging his audience to use substances to get lit. Unfortunately, the festival was cut short and ended on November 5th after few safety protocols were put in place on opening day. Videos were shared all over social media revealing how chaotic the night was for the crowd. Around 2 p.m. Central Time, before the concert even started, fans broke the fence to get into the Astroworld Festival. A concert goer standing by caught the dangerous stampede taking place. Shortly after, the crowd made their way to the security checkpoint. ABC 13 Houston caught hundreds, possibly thousands of people completely disregarding safety measures by breaking through the security checkpoint. Some of the security staff were trying to stop people, but they were only able to knock over a few people who would then begin running again. Within 30 seconds, the stampede of people knocked over the security equipment and continued running. Another 30 seconds later, all security equipment was knocked over and people began tripping over it. The security staff continued to stop people from running over by using force, but they didn't manage to stop anyone. Micah Hatfield, a reporter for ABC 13, asked the question most people were probably thinking: should it have been canceled then? Houston Fire Chief Sam Pena told CNN at least one person was injured during the afternoon rush. Despite the hassle of jumping the fence and upsetting security, the show didn't start for another 7 hours. Madeline Eskins, an ICU nurse attending the show, told CNN a countdown timer began around 30 minutes before Travis's performance. Madeline said, "And all of a sudden, people compressed up against each other and were pushing forward and backward. As the timer got closer to coming down to 0, it got worse and worse." Jeffrey Schmidt, a concert goer, also had a similar experience and said he and his friend tried to get out of the crowd, but said, "Little did we know, all hell was about to break loose. People started to pass out and fall to the ground." Just after 9 p.m., Travis appeared on stage and began his set. The crowd surged forward immediately, according to TK Tellez, another attendee. The crowd became tighter and tighter, and at that point, it was hard to breathe. When Travis came out performing his first song, I witnessed people passing out next to me. In an overhead shot from a video live streamed to Apple Music, the crowd can be seen surging just as Tellez described. Sarai Sierra, who celebrated her birthday by attending the festival, said she saw some people who could not breathe minutes after Travis appeared on stage. "I truly thought that if I fell, it would have been the end of me. I spent at least 15 minutes just getting around due to mosh pits or simply because people were raging." A video from 9:12 p.m. showed someone calling for help in a tightly packed group of people. Travis seemed to be unaware and continued performing. At around 9:21 p.m., Travis realized the fan was hanging in a tree at his concert and praised him by saying, "Make some noise for my boy right there, hanging in the tree right there." In a side-by-side comparison between the live stream video on Apple Music and video filmed by concert goer Trey5Pix, you can hear someone calling for medical attention as Travis praised the fan. At around 9:30 p.m., 18-year-old Aiden Cruz, an attendee, climbed up a ladder to a raised platform to ask for help from the camera operator and surrounding staff. People in the audience appeared agitated as they were booing him, and Aiden yelled at them to shut the f*** up and proceeded to explain the situation.
Shut the f*** up! Exactly right. We're in there. People are dying. I'm going to save somebody's life. That's somebody's kid. Who answered the stop?
As this was happening, Travis was getting ready to sing another song. Travis seemed to be unaware of his injured fans as he continued to hype the crowd by saying, "I want to make this Ground shake, goddammit. A video of the same scene from a different angle showed 22-year-old Shauna Faith, another attendee, reaching the same platform as Aiden. She tried to speak to the operator and stepped in front of the camera. Shauna said a guard threatened to knock her off the 15-foot-high platform if she did not stop. She said people in the crowd also began to boo at her. Shauna said many people were sending threats to the cameraman she was yelling at, but reassured everyone the cameraman did call for help after and was the reason 2 medics appeared. Shauna also shared similar accounts to other attendees, explaining the crowd was surging within the first 30 seconds and it became harder to breathe as they were being crushed. At one point in the night, Shauna said she saw a floor of bodies that was 3 layers deep. At 9:30 p.m., officials received their first reports of people falling injured in the crowd, according to Houston Fire Chief Sam Pena. A golf cart-style ambulance drove into the crowd to help those who were passed out, but due to the uncooperative crowd, it took 10 minutes to get through. Some people in the crowd decided to dance on top of the ambulance cart, making it more difficult to reach and assist those who were injured. One of the people dancing on the top of the vehicle later posted, "Uh-oh guys, cancel culture at it again. This is how I know the crowd was full of baby butt soft people. We raged for real. It's tragic what happened, but don't blame me. I just come to have fun." And that I did. They claimed no one was injured in the cart and said they stood on the cart so they could breathe. According to the New York Times, the music stopped around 9:30 p.m. and 2 men who appeared to be Astro World staff approached Travis on stage before Travis shooed them away. A video of this incident has since been taken down. As all this was happening, Travis's partner, Kylie Jenner, shared a video of the crowd on her Instagram story. In the video, the ambulance can be seen. Kylie later deleted the video. By 9:38 p.m., a mass casualty event was officially declared, according to Pena. Pena added it took 2 minutes for the first unit that arrived on scene to get in contact with patients. Many people in the crowd were calling out for help, but their voices appeared to be drowned out by the loud music. Travis is also seen wearing an in-ear monitor.
One sec.